So in today's edition of Thank You Internet for teaching me how to do something, I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story of how I made this helical groove in a piece of plastic. I don't know if you can see that with the contrast, but that's basically 1 thread per inch. I'm going to need to be cutting more of these into some brass and aluminium. And I had in my mind this great idea that if I built this extended tool post or tool rest or whatever you want to call it, just this rigid piece of aluminium just riveted together, I could mount the Dremel on top of it and cut a spiral groove. Quick piece of story here. I built this guy, realized that it made the tip of the Dremel way off center. So after making this lovely thing, I just used these U-clamps and mounted it to the side, which has the right height. But whatever. So the idea was to use a Dremel, and the reason why I was thinking I needed to do a Dremel to do this is while I could work out the math and get the gears right to do the reduction from this guy to the lead screw, to get that to be the right ratio of 1 thread per inch. The problem is, the moment that you start turning this, there's so much torque being applied to this tiny little guy here by the slide that basically if I try to turn it here, or if the motor was trying to turn it, it would rip these gears to shreds. You can see here it'll force the reversing gear to disengage just by trying to rotate it, which is good because it saves me from shredding up gears, but it kind of ruined my plan because I thought I'd just sit here, I'd mount my piece, I'd rotate this guy manually, this guy would move forward and I'd cut my spiral. And I was despondent and I gave up and posted a quick video on the internet, and Reddit helped me and said, hey, look, duh, you're an idiot, you're almost there. Just take a thing here and drive this screw. Because if you drive this screw, you don't have the torque problems because my hand is providing the torque when I'm not dropping the screw of the Allen key. And we're getting rotation of the head. Helps if things are actually in gear. Alright, so I've got this thing engaged. Rotate that guy. You can see the chuck moving, and if you look at the little handle there, when I'm holding the Allen key in, which is hard when your fingers are greasy, slowly but surely the lead screw is moving and the Dremel is moving across, so you get the required motion. And this lets me cut my helical screws, spiral helical grooves, very low pitch threads, whatever you want to call them. Which is good. This helps me with a lot of what I need to do. I need to cut a bunch of these in some metal stock, but I think I am going to have to end up driving the chuck and the lead screw independently via some sort of CNC action, because I'd like to cut them grooves and paths that are not linear like this. That's just moving at a constant rate down there. I want to do some ones that have some non-linear sections. Also, I want to do some ones that go back on themselves, like parabolas, to quadratic relationships, which is necessary for my use case. And obviously that's no longer standard thread cutting, and you can't just drive these guys from some ratio and make it all work out. They need to be driven independently. But that's a project for another day, once I've gotten the hang of doing this in actual metal and learning more things along the way. Anyway, thanks. Bye.